Billy Luna.
John Gotti versus Michael Franzese. Today we're going to delve into a confrontation between Michael Franzese and John Gotti in the streets. I'm going to break it all down for you and lay out the two completely different versions of what went down. One version of the story is told by the streets and noted authors and journalists Jerry Capisci and Gene Mustaine. The other version of the story is told by Michael Franzese himself. After I lay this all out for you, I want to know which version of this story that you think is accurate. Let me know in the comments.
Billy Luna.
Please subscribe to the Billy Luna channel and like the video. Thank you.
Hollywood Godfather and the head of Paramount Studios, who oversaw the Godfather films, Robert Evans, said that there are three sides to every story: my side, your side, and the truth. And no one is lying. The truth is elusive, especially in the Mafia genre. Now, Michael Franzese's version of the story has John Gotti getting outfoxed by Michael, who presents himself as the smoother criminal. I will get to Michael's version of the story, but I'll start with the street version first. Michael Franzese, the son of Colombo family powerhouse Sonny Franzese, and another man, sought to open a flea market near one run by a man who told them that he was affiliated with John Gotti. "Fuck John Gotti," replied Franzese. Franzese was a modern mobster, cool, educated, almost a yuppie. He would graduate from promoting flea markets to producing movies. Credits include such teenage gang movies as Knights of the City and Savage Streets, and to steal millions in a sophisticated gas tax ripoff that would later stir Gotti's interest. In Hardball, however, he didn't play in the same league as Gotti. "Watch this. I'm going to take you to school," Gotti told James Cardinale shortly before Franzese and his associate arrived at the Our Friends social club for a sit-down. Gotti informed Franzese that flea market rights in the area were taken and he must abandon any claim. "I don't care if you tell your father. I don't care who you go to. You can take it to Yankee Stadium. You can't win this." As Franzese rose to leave, Gotti told him, "There is a guy running around the city saying, 'Fuck John Gotti.' What do we do with a piece of shit like that? Should we beat him up? Kill him? He's a dog, right?" "Yes, anybody who said that wouldn't be a friend. They would be a dog," Franzese replied. Tails between their legs, Franzese and his associate left, two more recipients of Gotti's confident terrorism. Now, here is the version that Michael Franzese put forth. In the bustling 1980s, swap meets in Brooklyn were gold mines. But for one accountant turned entrepreneur, his cash streams turned into leaks, and his partner wasn't just skimming profits, but dealing drugs on the side. Fearing police crackdowns, he sought out mob intervention, and that's when things got interesting. Enter Michael Franzese, the middleman between a desperate accountant and a shady drug dealer. With a brief nod to risk analysis, Michael got involved. But what Michael didn't foresee was a call from none other than the infamous Dapper Don himself, John Gotti. In classic mob fashion, Gotti tried to muscle in on the action, claiming ownership through his connection to the dealer. But Michael says that he wasn't about to roll over. The sit-down became a battle of wills, with Michael pointing out the mob's strict no-drug policy and Gotti insisting his guy wasn't a dealer and he was just a misunderstood stole. Despite Gotti's bravado, it became clear he wasn't the right fit for the business. Michael says Gotti's guy was bad news, and Michael says that he wasn't keen on working with Gotti. So Michael says that he hatched a plan to use reverse psychology on Gotti. Michael says his plan worked like a charm. Michael claims he went in and told Gotti that he was going to buy Gotti out. This story is straight from the movie The Godfather, when Michael Corleone told Mo Green that the Corleone family was going to buy Green out of his stake in his casino. Michael says that Gotti's response was the same as Mo Green's. "You don't buy me out, I buy you out." Michael claims that this is exactly the response that he wanted to elicit from Gotti. Michael claims that he, quote unquote, gave in and let Gotti think that Gotti won the negotiation, when in reality, Michael was pulling the strings. In the end, Michael says the accountant made a tidy profit. Michael says that he walked away with a sweet deal, and Gotti thought that he got what he wanted. Michael claims that 3 months later, the business failed. So Michael is putting forth the fact that he outsmarted John Gotti and came away the big winner. This is in contrast to the version of the story told by the streets and a couple of noted journalists. In that version, Gotti scared Michael shitless. Which story do you believe? Let me know in the comments. And here's a little mini documentary about Michael Franzese's father, Sonny Franzese.
John Sonny Franzese, Cosa Nostra legend, committed his first murder and became a made member of the Mafia at the age of 14. Friend and confidant of Cosa Nostra superstars Albert Anastasia and Vito Genovese. Rose to the rank of Colombo family underboss. Tough as nails. Killer of more than 55 men. Loving father. Ladies' man. Underworld celebrity. Mafia rock star. Idol of John Gotti. Betrayed by his own sons and sent to prison at the age of 93. He was there at the dawn of Cosa Nostra and lived to see its fall.
Frank Chickie Narducci was born in South Philly in 1933 to Italian immigrant parents. Narducci's initiation into the realm of crime commenced at a young age, when he became a trusted soldier and driver for the Philadelphia crime family. However, the landscape shifted dramatically with the assassination of Angelo Bruno, orchestrated by Antonio Caponegro. The murder of Bruno paved the way for Chickie Narducci's close friend Peter Casella's ascension as underboss. It was under this new leadership that Narducci and Casella forged a dangerous rebellion against Bruno's successor, Philip Chicken Man Testa. Their defiance culminated in a chilling act of violence on March 15, 1981, when Testa fell victim to a nail bomb that was planted by Casella and Narducci's cohorts. This murder was immortalized in the Bruce Springsteen song Atlantic City. The repercussions of the assassination of Testa were far-reaching and ominous, setting the stage for further turmoil within the Philly criminal underworld. Tragically, Narducci's own demise mirrored the ruthless brutality inherent in this world. On January 7, 1982, as Chickie Narducci stepped out of his car outside his Philadelphia residence, Salvi Testa confronted him. With a chilling calmness, Salvi Testa uttered Chickie Narducci's name, granting him a fleeting moment to register the face of his assailant before a fatal shot rang out, sealing Chickie Narducci's fate. Chickie's assassination stood as a poignant symbol of the bloody power struggles that engulfed Philadelphia during a notorious Philly mob war. Amidst the chaos and carnage, Narducci's life and death epitomized the dark allure and perilous stakes of the criminal underworld, leaving an indelible mark on the annals of Philadelphia's crime history. You have heard Skinny Joey Merlino mention the name of Philip Narducci many times. Phil and Joey were childhood pals. Philip Narducci, a former alleged made man in the Philly Cosa Nostra family, spent more than half of his life in prison and has been accused by investigators of participating in at least 3 notorious gangland slayings, including the 1985 hit on Frankie Flowers D'Alfonso. A jury convicted Philip Narducci of that murder in 1989, but the verdict was overturned on appeal and a second trial ended in acquittal. After his release from prison on racketeering charges in 2012, Narducci went straight. In 2019, Phil Narducci would get set up in a BS loan sharking case and get sentenced to a year in prison. Nowadays, Phil Narducci lays low and is the impresario of his gastropub, Chick's, on Washington Avenue. Of the old school crew of Nicky Scarfo, Phil Testa, Chickie Narducci, and Chucky Merlino, Chickie Narducci was the richest and best businessman of them all. They all made money in real estate, but Chickie Narducci made a fortune. As I have mentioned before, the next generation of these families, Salvi Testa, Phil Narducci, and Joey Merlino, were privileged and wealthy kids. Some would even say spoiled. This is a fascinating and macabre photo that is indicative of the ultra-violence that distinguished the Philly Cosa Nostra family as one of the most brutal. Of the men standing in this photo, Chickie Narducci killed Philip Testa. Then Salvi Testa killed Chickie Narducci. Finally, Nicky Scarfo killed Salvi Testa.
Billy Luna.
Please subscribe to the Billy Luna channel and like the video. Thank you.